He's innovative. His approach is creative. I think we're going to see a lot of different lineups, a lot of different strategy. How we use Evan this year is going to be pretty cool.
The Cavs have jumped out to an incredible 13-0 start, and it's not their vaunted defense that's propelled them to the top of the standings after a 48-win season last year. Instead, it's a smoking hot offense, posting 122 points per 100 possessions, 8 points ahead of league average. What's really stunning is that they have the exact same rotation as they did a year ago when they finished with a below-average offense. But they've changed their coach, and Kenny Atkinson has made a few key tweaks that have completely changed this attack. One of which is empowering Darius Garland more, and Garland is healthy and playing out of his mind right now. But before we get to that and a few other fun changes, the biggest structural difference to me is having Evan Mobley initiate more offense. And the first thing this does is improve the spacing, where with Mobley bringing it up, all of a sudden 3 out of the 4 Cavs are shooting threats, the paint is less clogged, and you get offense like this. And this is something Golden State has leveraged for years by having Draymond Green run point guard basically, so it's harder to ignore him and clog up the paint and help when he has the ball. We're actually seeing more teams around the league do this with skilled big men who aren't really great shooters. The Raptors will do it with Scotty Barnes, where they have a guard come up and set the screen, so if you switch, you can force a mismatch. Help has to come deep in the paint here, and they get free throws on the cut. And even the Lakers this year are having Anthony Davis initiate more like this because, again, it solves some of the spacing issues, but it also helps a big like this get downhill against a recovering defense, where most of the time the center is being pulled out into the action, so there's less resistance at the basket. Mobley's playing power forward here, gets a little screen from Darius Garland, and the defender goes under because they're not worried about Mobley shooting, but all that space gives him a little runway to get downhill, and he finishes with a nice spin. So this unlocks some of Mobley's ball handling and agility at his size. On this one, he's coming up to use the screen from Karis LeVert, slows down briefly to set it up, and that little hesitation and burst was enough to turn the corner and get free throws. The Bucks have been doing this with Giannis Antetokounmpo for years, where they have a shooter set the pick near the foul line, and then if too much attention goes to Giannis, he's open for 3. So the Cavs can leverage their shooters like this. Sam Merrill sets the pick at the top of the key, 2 Warriors briefly go to Mobley, and that frees Merrill for the pop, and it's an open 3. Here's a wrinkle on the same idea from Kenny Atkinson. Merrill sets a flex screen first on the baseline and then comes up the gut to set the pick. So his man has to step out on Mobley briefly. Merrill pops and draws a 3rd defender. Beautiful cut from Karis LeVert, frees up the corner, and that's lovely basketball. And it gets even more dynamic when someone like Donovan Mitchell sets the pick here, because not only can he shoot this, but he can also attack the closeout and finish at the basket. And of course, if you switch this, it introduces its own problems. Mobley has a smaller defender that he can just grind toward the basket here, and that means the big man is completely spaced out of the paint, so there's way less size for Mobley or anyone else to contend with at the basket. And this is big for Evan because he's stronger and sturdier this year on these kinds of moves, powering into players with physicality. Remember, in the past, Mobley's had issues with a lot of contact or even just balance on some of these drives. These are clips from last season where he takes a lot of contact or has a slightly more physical defender in front of him, and I think that throws off his driving line, and he ends up going to more fadeaways and off-balance attempts. But this season, after a summer of more physical maturity, Mobley's just stronger and sturdier playing through contact. This is both the physical maturity that comes with age, but also just working on a lower center of gravity, core strength, and comfort powering through other players. He's never going to be confused with someone like Giannis when it comes to power on these moves, but this added strength and stability makes a huge difference on these plays, even when he just ends up in a post-up against another big. Now, this is only a minor change to the Cavs' offense. Most of the time, you'll still see Mobley screening for someone like Darius Garland or Mitchell. For the full version of this video, become a channel member. Members get every video we make ad-free and private community posts with my quick-hitting thoughts throughout the season that can turn into videos or podcasts. To access our team and player stats throughout the year, as well as our vibrant Discord community, check out patreon.com/thinkingbasketball. That's also just a great way to support us in general. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks as always for watching, and I hope you are having a great day.